Hey there! If you or someone you love is navigating a cancer diagnosis, you've probably heard that word, stage. It can sound really big and intimidating, but today we're going to break it all down and make sense of it together. Okay, let's dive in.
First things first, let's just acknowledge it. Hearing the word cancer can unleash a whirlwind of emotions. Fear, confusion, maybe even anger. And you know what? That is completely normal. The whole point of this is to give you some clear, solid information because knowledge really can be a powerful way to feel a little more in control.
After that initial shock settles, this is almost always the very next question, isn't it? Doctor, what stage is it? It feels like this huge, heavy verdict, a number that's going to decide everything. But what if we looked at it in a totally different way? We're about to show you what that question and its answer really means.
That's right. Instead of a verdict, I want you to think of the stage as a map. Seriously, it doesn't tell you where the journey is going to end. Nope. It tells your doctors the best place to begin. It shows them the exact landscape of the cancer so they can chart the most effective path forward for you.
So here's a crucial point. Staging is basically a snapshot in time. It's a standardized system that gives a clear picture of the size of a cancer and how far it is spread right at the moment it's diagnosed. It's kind of like a universal language that gets all the doctors on the exact same page. Now this is super important because it's a point of confusion for a lot of people. You've got staging and you've got grading. They sound similar, but they answer two totally different questions. Staging answers where is it and how far is it gone. Grading, which we'll get to in a bit, answers how aggressive do the cells themselves look. Both are absolutely critical pieces of the puzzle. All right, let's look at the most common mapping system that doctors use, at least for solid tumors. It's called the TNM system, and it's the global standard for creating that detailed picture we've been talking about. Think of this system as the real backbone of staging. And the reason why is because it's incredibly detailed. It looks at three very specific factors, represented by the letters T, N, and M, to build a really precise profile of the cancer. It sounds complicated, but it's actually pretty logical when you break it down. T stands for tumor, basically how big is the original tumor. N is for nodes, has it reached any of the nearby lymph nodes? And M is for metastasis, has the cancer spread to distant parts of the body? Each of those letters gets a number, which gives your medical team a very specific code. So how do we get from that detailed TNM code to the simple stage numbers we always hear about? 1, 2, 3, and 4. Well, doctors take those T, N, and M scores, combine them, and use that to group cancers into these overall stages. It just gives a simpler, big picture view of what's going on. Let's start with stage 1. This is the earliest stage, right? The cancer is small and it hasn't spread. And that fire in a house analogy, it works perfectly here. For stage 1, the fire is just in a single room. It's contained. And the goal of treatment is almost always a complete cure. Okay, moving to stage 2. The tumor is bigger, or maybe it's grown a little bit into the tissue right next to it, but it hasn't traveled far. In our analogy, the fire might have spread to the room next door, but it's still localized. Treatment might get a bit more intense, but the goal is still, very often, a cure. Stage 3 is what doctors often call locally advanced. Here, the cancer has spread more significantly into nearby lymph nodes or tissues. The fire is now affecting a whole section of the house. Now, this is a bigger challenge for sure, but I want to be crystal clear. Stage 3 is still often treated with the goal of a cure.
And then there's stage 4. This means the cancer has metastasized. It's spread to distant organs. The fire has jumped to a whole other building. Now, this is the stage that frightens people the most, and that's completely understandable. But it is so important to know that the story of stage 4 has changed dramatically. With modern treatments, it's often managed more like a chronic condition, not an immediate death sentence.
So you might be wondering, does this apply to every single type of cancer? And that is a great question. The short answer is no. Cancers of the blood, like leukemia, they don't form solid tumors, so they get classified in a different way. And most brain tumors are another exception. They rarely spread outside the brain,
so they're usually graded instead of staged. So let's circle back to that idea of grading. Remember, staging tells us where the cancer is. Grading adds this other crucial layer of detail. It tells us how the cancer is likely to behave. So a pathologist, a specialist doctor, looks at the cancer cells under a microscope. And basically, the more different and weird they look compared to normal, healthy cells, the higher the grade. This helps predict how quickly the cancer might grow. A low-grade tumor is lazy and slow-growing. A high-grade one is much more aggressive.
You can think of it like a spectrum. Grade 1 cells look a whole lot like the normal cells they grew from. By the time you get to grade 3 or 4, the cells look really abnormal and disorganized. And having this information is absolutely vital for planning the right kind of treatment.
Now, this is just a brilliant way to understand why this all matters. This idea of the dandelion phenomenon. Think about it. When you mow your lawn, you get rid of the yellow flowers you can see, right? But if you don't get the roots, those dandelions are just going to grow right back. It's the same idea with cancer. Treatment has to target not just the main tumor, the part you can see on a scan, but also those aggressive, unseen root cells to stop it from coming back.
Okay, so we have our map. That's the stage. And we understand the terrain. That's the grade. So, now what? How does all of this come together to actually chart the course for treatment?
This is the key takeaway, right here. All of this information, it all helps your care team define the goal of treatment. For early stage cancers, that goal is usually a cure. For more advanced cancers, the goal might be to control the disease for as long as possible, all while making sure you have a great quality of life. Look, this knowledge empowers you. It really does. You can now go to your appointments ready with specific, informed questions. Don't ever be afraid to ask, what does this stage and grade mean for me? What is our goal? Understanding your diagnosis is the very first step to becoming an active partner in your own care. And if you take just one thing away from all this, please let it be this. A stage is not a final chapter. It's the first page of a detailed plan. It's the critical information that allows science and medicine to chart the best path forward for you. It is the beginning of the journey, not the end of the story.